thing.
That is your thing.
Because they can all go straight. Okay, cool.
Action.
So, Chad, I'm Kitty.
Hi, Kitty.
Lovely to meet you.
Nice to meet you.
So, on my channel, basically people follow me because I'm a bit of a sneakerhead, right?
Okay.
So we're here for Supra,
Yep.
and this is like the autumn-winter like event to show off the new stuff that's coming up in the next few months, the next year, right?
Yes.
So I wanted to ask you a bit about how being an incredible skateboarder isn't just about skateboarding. Every good skateboarder ends up being a shoe designer, right?
They say that like not every skateboarder becomes a shoe designer, and not every great skateboarder actually designs their own footwear as
True.
well.
You get
too.
collabs, but they don't actually get involved in it. So
Yeah, and some people, some companies have in-house designers and they'll present a skater with a shoe, but there's certain skaters that have stood out that have impacted the sneaker culture, I would say.
I would say a lot of skateboarders end up working with shoe brands, right?
Yes.
But I would say that you're more of a shoe designer yourself, right?
Oh yes, I've been designing
Amazing.
footwear for 23 years now. It's the first shoe I did back
The
then.
Skytop.
No.
No, what was the first one?
For a company called ES.
Oh, yeah, okay. I'm thinking Supra. Yeah.
Well, for Supra, it was about 11 years ago. I designed the Skytop. Footwear's always been a part of my life. I've always been interested in hip hop culture, street culture, graffiti, music production. All these things have played a part of my life, and I've always looked at skateboarding as being a part of all that culture as well too. And when I became a professional skateboarder, I was given the opportunity to have a pro model shoe, and instead of just allowing the company to create something, I came in and gave input on it and helped design, and that sort of sparked my entire career within footwear design.
Your first shoe was actually quite revolutionary because the Stash Pocket.
Yeah, it had evolved in different shoes. It's actually in the Skytop one too, but a lot of people don't even know because it's kind of
really?
stashed down.
Okay.
Yeah. So, but that's been something part of the design aspects that I would have implemented into my shoes. Yes.
Do you know what's funny about that is because when I was younger than that, you would get these like a princess shoe and you'd have a key where you could keep like, I don't know, your necklace or something. And then when I grew up and I got into like hip hop and rock music and skating, that was your shoe, and I was like, wow, this reminds me.
Nice. What were they called? Do you remember or no?
It was clocks. I don't know if you have that in
Yeah.
They were very
nice.
cute.
We're gonna have to find those ones.
You need to look them up.
We're gonna have to do collaboration.
Oh yeah.
Unicorn with the lock. No.
When you first designed the Skytop, it was quite different to a lot of skate shoes.
Yes.
Were you doing that on purpose? Were you like going for the shock factor?
Within skateboarding, a lot of the shoes are similar.
Yeah.
Always kind of, like especially even right now, you look at skate shoes and you're like, okay, it's the same shoes across the map, but a different logo on top of it, pretty much. So I've always tried to not look for what's the highest selling thing that I want to make my version of. I've always wanted to express through that opportunity to design and create something new and interesting that I liked. And this is 11 years ago that shoe was created now. And at that time, I was really interested in what's happening in high fashion and trying to merge some of those worlds in with skateboarding. And also with 80s culture, I was interested in early 80s hip hop and rock, how like a lot of the same style was being worn, like Grandmaster Flash and Furious 5 and Melly Mel were rocking these like, crazy high tops and with skinny jeans, and so was Axl Rose and Metallica. It was kind of like this cool look that I liked the idea that it was able to be applied on different genres of music and different complete styles of dress.
Yeah.
And I was like, I wanted to kind of apply that idea to something modern, and it was pretty like, people tripped out on it. It's a fairly normal looking shoe right now. You look at it, you're like, it doesn't look like anything, but at that time skate shoes were all very low tops and they were very puffy, which now is going full circle, but that's a whole nother story, because this is, like I said, 11 years ago now. But at that time I was like, okay, like I wanted to make a long toe and a sleek shoe and a very high form-fitting, fashion forward at that time shoe, but it ended up becoming, very well received, and then is still in the marketplace 11 years later, which is also pretty rare for skateboarding footwear. There's not a lot of designs that last over the years, so it's a blessing to see that something that was so well received so long ago is still within the marketplace and having an impact this long.
So, the Skytop, 11 years ago, the first one was introduced to the world, and 11 years on, we have a new Skytop being launched soon, right?
Yeah.
What is super different about this one?
Well, I think there's a Skytop 6 that we're working on, so this is the sixth interpretation of the Skytop shoe. Each one I try to make pretty significantly different in some ways, but still have some sort of connection to the original DNA, and it changes with the times of what my vision is at that time, what's happening within the footwear industry. The last one we launched was the Skytop 5, and that was kind of more like athletic runner based, and I was trying to do the hybrid of a runner, flexible toe, kind of some of the boost stuff that was coming out, and some like a Presto kind of influence, and take that and try to make a skatable version of that, because that hadn't been done yet, and that was then. And then now on to the Skytop 6, which I honestly can't talk about too much right now, because we're very early in the release of what it's going to be, but I could say that it's pulling from the past, but not regurgitating the past and creating the future. Yeah, so that's in the development. I'm really excited about it. There's a few projects that are coming out right now. The Skytop 77, which is the original silhouette of the upper, but then I played with the vulcanization tape and added some layers and some depth to that to kind of give a refresh to something that's been in the market for a long time. The next one to launch is the 2000, which is kind of comes back to the heritage of my 90s, late 90s, early 2000 footwear design, and applying it to more of a comfort walking, city shoe. Comes with the stash, zipper stash, bringing it back. This one's messed up a little bit. It's the first sample still, but there'll be a hang tag that comes on there and it zips open there.
That's so cool.
These are elements of the first shoe I designed in 1996, mixed in with a shoe I did in 1999 that originally launched in 2000. And so this is the Muska 2000. And high fashion has been taking a lot from skateboard culture and influence from this time period of footwear.
100%,
and so I felt it kind of obvious that skateboarding also needed to have a foot in that market as well too, and so this was my
iteration of that, basically.
Yes. What I did with this though is that I intentionally made it. You can skate it if you want, but I over-exaggerated the chunkiness on the sole and the midsole, and made it for a lifestyle shoe more, because for me the regurgitation of the past is not really functional nowadays. The chunky shoe, it might have a look that people like and they're nostalgic about it and living through it again, but they're really not great functional shoes. Taking inspiration from the past and creating the future opposed to regurgitating the past.
Yeah, that makes a lot of sense. You need to get someone old school though, like Fred Durst. Do you know what I mean?
My homie Bobby Hundreds just did that. With
I saw.
With Fred. And what's funny is I'll send you the picture later or something. I said, why are you still in my riders? Because Fred used to rock my stuff always back in the day.
Oh yeah?
Which was funny at that time. I was embarrassed by it, almost kind of like, oh my God, Limp Bizkit singers rock my stuff. But Fred's my homie. I love him to death. What's up, Fred? But now I'm looking back on it, I'm like, oh my God, that's so rad.
It's iconic. It's literally iconic.
I love it.
So talking of that era, 1999 Pro Skater, launched, right? So Tony Hawk's Pro Skater, if you're young and don't know this, is a PlayStation game, and Chad was one of the characters in it.
For those two, a PlayStation is a video game. Plugging the TV. No.
And Limp Bizkit's, Limp Bizkit's significant other dropped that year. Slipknot dropped that year. The stuff that came out now, and all these bands Limp Bizkit are touring again, Slipknot are touring again. They've got a new album out. It's that era. Do you know what I mean? I'm 15 years old again and loving it. And then it's 360. It's I used to play this computer game. Now I'm here talking to you about your shoes.
I just got an extension on my career. Keep the 90s back. Teaming up with Limp Bizkit skateboarding tour coming to a town near you.
Don't get me excited about this stuff because I will be stoked. No, but that's really cool. It's cool to see you, reiterating the past, like you said, in a modern way. I'm excited for what is coming, and we're going to go inside the event now and see all of the stuff that we have on show that's coming up in like autumn, winter.
Yep.
And yeah, thank you for chatting to me.
Cool. Thank you. We had a few interruptions here, but we got our way through it.
We did this, guys.
We are in a live venue right now.
We made this work. Yeah, and I love you to meet you.
You too as well. Enjoy your night.
Thank you.